contest. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com/delivery for more details.
Crispy chicken's better in a Taco Bell taco, or burrito, or both. Try Taco Bell's new Crispy Chicken Taco and or burrito today at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. Contact store for availability.
Following program will be recorded.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WDAS and WD273D Philadelphia is Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler.
Hey now. Oh, it's good to be back. Hello, everybody. Daily Ticket, Sean Brace, Luke Arcaini, of course, riding front and center with all things Phillies, Major League Baseball, trade deadline fast approaching. We got closers being suspended that could have been potentially a trade target for the Phillies. We got a lot to discuss. We got Bryce Harper telling the commish to get the bleep out of our clubhouse before a game. There is so many things to dig deep in to get this party started. But I have to open up, of course, Luke, by saying it feels good to be back. It's first show back in studio, about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It was a long damn time, but I am back. I am healed. I feel great. I'm back in the gym working out. We got ourselves a hell of a week in front of us. We're going to Chi-Town for the National, rocking out with the fine folks from the Philly show. We'll be live on Friday, 3 to 6, and Saturday. Can't wait. Going to be teaming up with some good friends out there, including Colby Marcio and the great Stephanie Smalls is going to be on the show. And the list goes on and on. You should see the names that are out there signing things. So a big week in front of us. Football season front and center for us as well. Man, a lot to get to. And the sports are pretty good this weekend. I'll tell you what, that golf outing, you and I were texting yesterday about 3M. Kurt was insane. My guy, Akshay, didn't really show up all that much on Sunday, but that's all right. Still worth the price of admission and a pretty good leaderboard. But let's not waste any more time on that. Let's open up with the Phillies. They go to the Bronx, Luke Arcaini, and beat them down. 2 straight games, of course, slipped up yesterday, which was one of those games.
Yeah.
I'll be up front with you, man. There was 2 or 3 years that I was a part of a shore house way back when. Like we're talking 09, 10, 11. So I had a shore house. I was in a house with a bunch of dudes and a couple girls, whatever. And I bartended. So a lot of my Sunday trips down to the shore. And we would wager on Major League Baseball on Sundays and get our teeth kicked in. Every Sunday. Sundays, if I could just give you one word of advice, and it means nothing because don't even listen to it, don't wager on Major League Baseball when it comes to Sundays because here you have Zach Wheeler, and Rodon's been amazing, but you get Wheeler, you get a lead, you get Otto Kemp going yard twice, you get Nick Castellanos returning from a day off, he goes yard. You're thinking like, dude, they're going to blow the doors off the Yankees, they're going to sweep them. And then all of a sudden, Wheeler can't even get through 6, and the Phillies ended up losing a tough third game. But there's so many positives, and it starts with me, with Kyle Schwarber yet again delivering when needed to deliver upon us.
No matter if he's in left field or at the plate, all right? No, I mean, he's an animal, man. He's just – every time Kyle Schwarber hits a home run, you think it's crazy. Then he just goes out and hits another one. The dude's on a tear.
Well said.
It's just whenever you think he's, at his best, he one-ups himself. I think the best race right now that I think is going to be really funny for the next few years. Obviously, I think once we get into the long game, Schwarber will take the advantage just because he hits more home runs than Bryce as long as he's back. But this whole Schwarber-Harper, current Philly home run race right now, they're going from Harper's up 1 career homer with the Phillies to them being tied. Then Schwarber's up 1. So that's been a little bit of a fun race recently. But this dude's just, he's the leader. He is the guy at the front that when he goes, everybody goes. And, even when a lot of people aren't going, he's still going. I mean, his OPS in July is over, I think, like 50. He's just absolutely tearing it up. And, they're only guaranteed a few more months of him, but I'd be absolutely shocked if he's not a Philadelphia Philly for the rest of his career.
Yeah, and that's what I think we're all in agreement right now with the blank check, especially after Friday. It was just such a great day, a great night to sit back, watch that game on Apple TV, listen to Scott Fransky on the call, 12-5 final score, Eagles chants happening, everybody's cashing in those same game parlays. I had a couple buddies that were at the game. They're texting me like, oh my goodness. And then on Saturday, everybody in the Gambler gang threw out a couple slips you guys were hitting. So nice work there as they won 9-4. You look at this lineup right now with Trey Turner and what he's doing as far as average. I think he's top 5, maybe 6 right now. You look at what you're getting from, of course, we just discussed with Kyle Schwarber, JT Realmuto right now is about as hot as it gets because he is
the
now
best batting average in all of baseball in the month
13. He has a base hit in 13 out of 14 games.
Yeah, really good. Number 1 in batting average in the month of July throughout the entire Major League Baseball. The dude's probably the hottest hitter on planet Earth right now. And he's been starting to get it up with the lefties too. Early he was abysmal to start the season the first few months against left-handed pitching, which is weird because he's always excelled against lefties. It was a weird trend this year that started. He just really did have the timing down. Rob Thompson said for 2 months straight, and people were starting to get tired of it. He was like, just wait for JT to get his timing. It's going to come. And here it is. He's hot right now. I mean, he's been basically rewarded by hitting in the cleanup spot the last few games. They've been rewarding him, and they've been taking advantage of the hot streak. And it's been a huge impact on this lineup because, when they're not great, it's Schwarber's awesome, Trey's getting on base, Harper's Harper. After that, you just don't know what you're going to get a lot. Castellanos is iffy. I think we all know the issues with Kepler. Much is fine. Stott hasn't been good at the plate. And this Realmuto from the beginning of the season wasn't great. But now once again, he's one of the hottest hitters on planet Earth right now.
So before we dive into the obvious conversation, and that is trade deadline, we're going to give you the latest as far as what Clase did up there with Cleveland, and it's straight up foolishness again. Of course, they were
for everyone.
No, it's not good for anyone. Period. In the story. And they've already been dealing with this. This is collateral of that same story where they lost the starting pitcher earlier this season due to possible a gambling investigation. We'll talk a little bit more about that because he was potentially on the move. I think he was going to be traded, right? Like they're still in the hunt, so I don't know. But all in all, it did feel like the Guardians were going to make some moves here. But putting that to the side, and obviously the trade deadline conversation, your big takeaway though, because I realize the Yankees, in some people's minds, aren't this juggernaut of a team, but they are. They're a damn good team that has been fighting, that has been dealing with a lot of injuries this year. Yeah. Take a look at everything that they've had to go through, and by the way, where they're currently at in the standings. So to me, I tip my cap on that standpoint. Now, are they perfect? No, that defense is atrocious. That bullpen really might be worse. That bullpen's worse than the Phillies bullpen, right?
Well, yeah, I know. There was a big tweet going out this weekend. It was like, you think the Phillies bullpen's bad. You just watch the Yankees bullpen for 3 days. It's even worse.
It's atrocious.
Bad.
They should be. I'll tell you one thing though. Watching those games, they got to be embarrassed of that ballpark.
It's the most fraudulent stadium in the history of sports.
It's like disgusting. I'm embarrassed.
It's absolutely disgusting. That one Giancarlo Stanton home run that he hit wouldn't have even hit the wall on the fly at Citizens Bank Park. It's absolutely disgusing.
And you're a Yankees fan, right? Like Yankees fans, you're supposed to be like, the great Yankees, all time, Joe DiMaggio. And it's like, don't you have any pride? You built that stadium specific to hit bombs. Now, again, at the end of the day, all that matters is winning. And this team got to a World Series last year, and they play half their games in that park. So you know what? Again, I'm tipping my cap to them. And that's more of where I want to go with this conversation right now, Luke, is like I look at the Yanks as a legit title contender. There's a chance that they could miss the playoffs altogether. I get that. But look what they had to deal with last year and how bad they were throughout the course of a stretch of the summertime. And I thought Boone was going to be fired. And next thing you know, they end up in the Fall Classic. This could be very well the same song and dance. Probably not this year. But tell me who scares you in the American League. All of a sudden, Toronto Blue Jays have the best record in baseball. Are you really scared of them? They're good, but I don't know what's going to happen when it comes to the pressure of postseason play. But the Yankees, for my money, going up to the Bronx, taking over, taking their food, putting the women, children to bed, and hitting Times Square, kicking in all doors. We didn't care about anything. Of course, they lost the sweep. What are you going to do? But I came away impressed. Yeah. I came away really satisfied with winning 2 of 3 and excited for what's coming up here, of course, with the White Sox series starting tonight.
Yeah, they played 2 really good baseball teams over the last week, both in the AL East, Red Sox and Yankees. Those are 2 good baseball teams. Both have obvious upgrades that they need to make. I think on the Red Sox standpoint, I think they're going to be kind of a mix of a buyer and a seller. And from the Yankees standpoint, they're going to be buying. But I just still question what the Yankees did to start off this deadline. Like, I like Ryan McMahon as a player, but there's no reason to go get Ryan McMahon 7 days before the trade deadline when a guy like Eugenio Suarez is still on the market. And I just didn't really get the move that early. But it was a good week for the Phillies. They took care of business. And I think my biggest takeaway from the week was that it's so obvious that they need one more impact bat. Because if you look at the lineup with JT hitting well, right? Like, doesn't seem like that's going to happen for a full season anymore with JT. He's getting older, right? He's still an unbelievable athlete. He's unbelievable behind the plate. That insane tag from the Rojas throw yesterday was just the fact that a 30-something-year-old can even make that play is insane. But it's so obvious that they need one more bat because you go out and you watch a guy like JT get hot. And when they have that, 4th or 5th hot bat in their lineup, their offense is awesome. Right? Like, they have 4 or 5 really good hitters, then you can get away with a Bryson Stott hitting 9th, or you can get away with a Brandon Marsh having a 7, whatever OPS if the defense is fine out in left or center. When you have another bat in there slotted in with Trey, Schwarber, Harper, and really that protection behind Bryce, because that is the biggest thing. And, there's been names like Steven Kwan thrown out there and guys like Jarren Duran. And while I think both of those guys are really good players, they just need impact in the cleanup spot. Because if you give a guy that, for example, Eugenio Suarez, if you put that guy behind Bryce is going to start seeing more pitches. And if Bryce starts seeing more pitches and if Bryce starts seeing more fastballs, they're going to score a lot more runs. And, I think you can slot somebody into the one hole like a Steven Kwan and you can move everybody back. But that doesn't solve your issue of not having a good hitter behind Bryce Harper. Because right now, going into the playoffs, it's either Alec Boehm, Nick Castellanos. It's either those 2 or it's JT. And, would you rather it be one of those 3? Or would you rather it be a Taylor Ward or a Eugenio Suarez or a Joe Adell or any sort of those guys like that? It's just very obvious to me that they need one more bat. Because when you see a guy on the team give that production, like a JT over this month, you see how the offense rolls because it's not just a 3-hitter lineup like it's been for the first 3 months of the season. Once you get into that stage of, 1 through 5 are hitting, then all of a sudden JT Realmuto is hitting 380 in July and he's hitting 6th in your lineup. Your lineup just gets deeper and deeper. So what I learned from this week is how bad they need one more bat still. And yes, the offense had an awesome week, but if you can get a JT having that kind of production back to the 6 hole or back to the 7 hole and slot a 30, a 25 to 35 homer guy behind Bryce, everything's just going to work so much better for this team.
No, you're right. And that's why I think, look, when it comes to Dombrowski, he knows it. I feel like the pressure's a little bit more than ever on him to make a move, but you can only do what you can do, right? And I know that kind of is a cliche, but there's a lot of A lot of teams still in the mix right now. A lot of rumors. We'll find out what's true and what's real and what's not. Coming up here on Thursday with the deadline at 6 p.m. We're going to be all over for you right here on The Gambler. Of course, Luke, you can read them at crossingbroad.com, hear them right here. But bottom line is, I do expect the Phillies to be somewhat aggressive. I just don't know if they're going to be able to get some of the top dogs like you keep on bringing up. We'll see. And again, here's an interesting point with Alec Boehm, who's dealing with the rib injury, did just rejoin the team. I know people are floating this out there that he could potentially be moved as well. I don't see that. I don't see Alec Boehm being moved.
I don't either. The only way I would see Alec Boehm being moved is if the Phillies went to the Diamondbacks and engaged for Eugenio Suarez, and they said, well, we need a guy to play third base right now. Then I think he could be a guy that's put in the deal.
That's when Otto Kemp goes.
But no, please no. Otto Kemp's going to be playing some second base in the playoffs at the rate he's going right now. But if that deal were to get on the table and you get a call from the Diamondbacks saying, hey, we want to make this deal, but we need a ready now third baseman, I think it kind of works sort of in the Phillies' favor. Yes and no, right? Because then, one, Suarez is a rental, right? He's only guaranteed here for 2 months and the postseason. After that, you don't know if he comes back. You don't know the Phillies' financial situation, right? Next year, who plays third base for you? Because Boehm's not here anymore. Aiden Miller's not ready yet, right? Does Otto Kemp earn a starting spot next year? Do they go get a 1-year rental? That's kind of what they have to think about. But listen, if Arizona went to the Phillies and said, we want Alec Boehm in this deal, I would be shocked if the Phillies turned the deal down because that was the deal breaker.
All right. Well, Aaron Dolan's heart's breaking.
Yeah,
I don't know if
she's moving out to Arizona. I will say, and we are going to get into the Emmanuel Clase thing, but what happened today really puts a hard situation on a lot of teams because every price of every good reliever just went up a lot today. The more that are off the board, the higher the price goes. And if he was going to get dealt, he was the best one. So now you're Johan Duran's from Minnesota, and you're these guys like Griffin Jacks from Minnesota, and all their prices went up today. So if anybody had a package for a reliever ready to make a deal in the next day, I don't think those packages are going to be the same anymore. It's unfortunate for the teams that are looking to trade for relievers. Granted, there's not a contender in baseball right now that's not looking to trade for a reliever, maybe other than the Astros. The Dodgers need relievers. The Mets need relievers. The Tigers need relievers. Everybody that's contending for a World Series this year, probably other than Houston, needs a reliever right now. And because they lost the biggest option, if he was available, everybody else just got a lot more expensive today.
Yeah, once again, get involved in the conversation at Fox PHL Gambler. Let us know your thoughts. The big question to get the party started here is the big takeaway from the Phillies taking 2 out of 3 in the Bronx, right? Let's focus on that. Where do you stand with these bats? Your biggest moment from the weekend series, and how disappointed were you that the fact that they did not get the sweep? So go ahead and get involved in the conversation. All things socials at Fox PHL Gambler. Emmanuel Clase, as we just brought up, the 3-time All-Star, 2-time winner of the Mariano Rivera Award as the best relief pitcher in the American League. He finished 3rd in the AL Cy Young voting last year when he posted a 0.61 ERA over 74 1/3 innings. I believe he did blow up in the postseason, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he was the best in the postseason. I could be wrong on that. Anyways, you hear how dominant he was. One of the best, if not the best reliever, the best closer, bar none, available as far as a trade possibility before the trade deadline, is now dealing with a non-disciplinary paid leave through August 31st as part of Major League Baseball's investigation into sports gambling, the second Guardians pitcher to be caught up in the inquiry. Yeah, the Guardians already lost right-hander Luis Ortiz. He is on paid leave after originally being placed there after July 3rd. Unusual gambling activity on 2 pitches he threw for balls. Now, the Ortiz deal, somebody did point him out And we saw those pitches, and they were to start the batters off, and he threw them way wide, if I'm not mistaken, and they were easily balls. Like, no ifs, ands, buts about it. People caught wind of it, and therefore he has been on the caught up in the, of course, the investigation, and has been on the paid leave. Now, Clase just happened about 2 hours ago, and I got to give a little bit of love to the league for, putting this out there before he does get traded, because that would have sucked.
Been a
and I don't
disaster.
Could you imagine if
I don't even know? Like, I was thinking about that today. Like, I don't even know what would happen. Like, would they say the Phillies made a trade for Clase? Would the league step in and like void the trade? Like, I don't even know. I feel like they would have to, right?
There would have to be
about that today.
It would be interesting to know what the details were and what's being released. Yeah, like if it happened today, of course, I think, hey, look, dating as far as back, who knows, right? Like Ortiz was back in July 3rd. So I would assume that Emmanuel Clase's name popped up not just today or last week. I assume that there was probably some chatter with his name maybe dating back to a couple weeks ago. So maybe that the Phillies, they have a big dom in their organization, was hearing some things, and that's probably put him off the no trade list. I don't know. But not everybody has one of those guys in their on their squads, as far as a big dom-esque that can go ahead and sniff around and hear what's actually happening. But bottom line is he's not getting traded, because now he will be unavailable for action up until August 31st. So we'll see what happens there, but it's nothing good. That's for damn sure. And again,
really quick,
these people, man, don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Can't
they're
win.
going to catch you. They're going to catch you,
Yeah.
Especially if it's the same strategy as the Luis Ortiz situation. There's a few videos going around right now so I have it right here. There was 22 pitches this season by Emmanuel Clase with bases empty outside of the strike zone. Of those, 11 classified as uncompetitive. And there's a video going around of 11 balls either spiked into the ground or 6 feet over the strike zone. And there's another tweet here that says Emmanuel Clase has come into the game at the beginning of the 9th inning 40 times this season. Here is his StatCast waste percentage, pitches that aren't close to the zone. First pitch of 9th inning, 17.5% wasted out of the zone. Every other pitch, 5.2%. It's a 12% spike on the first pitch of the inning. That is just absolutely nowhere near the strike zone. So, listen, I don't know if these guys are doing the same strategy here. Obviously, It didn't work for either one of them.
No.
But it's pretty obvious the writing's on the wall there. Like,
I don't even know how much money. Like, who? First of all, where are you wagering on that sort of deal? Because you can do it live.
First pitch ball,
First pitch, no doubt. Okay,
ball.
How much money are you making? Are you throwing a bone to your boys back in the neighborhood? Like, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, I don't, and I mean this all love and respect. I don't know where he's from, but okay. So Emmanuel Clase, let's say he is from the Dominican. He's from the Dominican. Now they have casinos all over the Dominican, no doubt. They're not taking action on first pitch balls down there like this. Like, no way. It's so stupid. It is so dumb, and you are going to get caught, and you're going to be suspended for life. If you get caught with this stuff, you're not allowed to pitch or play at the major league level. That's the way I would operate as a commissioner. Full Pete Rose ban. That's it. We have no room for people messing around with the integrity of these games. You just cannot do that and allow these guys to come back. Suspension for life. He's 27 and he was dominant.
It is actually really funny too, because the video, so they showed the 11 pitches. The first one that he did all season, bottom of the 9th in Cleveland, Max Kepler up for the Phillies. It happened. One of them happened against the Phillies, spiked it right into the ground 3 feet in front of the plate. Like, it's insane, man. Like, I don't know how much. I mean, you got to be making a boatload of money to be trying to waste your career doing this. But I don't know. One of the best pitchers in a while is now probably never going to pitch again. Yeah,
27 years old, and he signed a 5-year contract. Hold up, computer's working a little slow right here.
So he's on a 5-year, 200 million. My lord.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I'm seeing right there. Did he get paid that much money?
No, that can't be
Dude,
right. Cash.
Yeah,
So
I'm looking at.
it looks like it's more cash deal, but it's only like a 10. So this year was a $4 million hit on the luxury tax. It seemed like it was a lot of like signing bonuses.
Okay.
But he's
5
making
years,
a
20
lot of
million, average salary 4 million, signing bonus 2 million. He's an unrestricted free agent in 2029. This dude's 27 years old. He deserves every penny that he can get because how dominant he was with the Guardians. He's thrown it all away for throwing first pitch balls so his boys or his family members can cash in on live action over on DraftKings. Like, what are we doing right now? So
Crazy.
dumb, but it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me one bit. All right. Let's keep it moving here. We will come back. We'll talk some trade targets and all that. I want to get into this Bryce Harper discussion with Rob Manfred, where he told him to get the bleep out of the clubhouse. So where are we at with this? First of all, Rob Manfred pays a visit to the Phillies clubhouse.
Yeah.
And I don't understand, number one, why the commissioner. I know he's the commissioner, but why is he paying a visit to the Phillies before a game?
So it seemed to me like this was kind of a check-in. It seems like he's been kind of going around the league, talking to some teams slowly about like potential things for the next CBA. The next CBA is up. They're gonna have to agree on a new one on December 1st, 2026. So after next season, there's going to have to be a whole new collective bargaining agreement for Major League Baseball and the Players Association. The meeting happened Monday, and there was a report a few days ago from Foul Territory about this, and it really got out today with the Jeff Passan thing. So, there was this meeting going on, and Rob Manfred was talking about a potential salary cap in the next CBA, and the players don't like the idea of that. The players especially don't like it if there's no floor to this, because you have these teams not spending any money, but then you're putting a cap on how much money players can make. They don't like that. So it eventually got to the point, according to Jeff Passan, that Bryce Harper and Rob Manfred were nose to nose at one point, and Bryce Harper told him to get the bleep out of our clubhouse. It got pretty heated. I believe it was Foul Territory's report the other day said that it was a good overall conversation. It just got very heated at some points. And this was the big one. But this is Harper representing all the players in the league, because what Harper said is what everybody else is thinking. I don't think anybody else wanted to get nose to nose with the commissioner of baseball, but Harper was the one that decided to do it. Listen, I'm on Harper's side here. Like, it's hard. And listen, if you have to get to a salary cap, like eventually, then yeah, because listen.
But that doesn't need to be discussed on Monday before the Sox and Phillies game.
No,
like, that's
exactly.
an off-season discussion.
Exactly.
And Rob Manfred is so slimy. I always talk about this. He got the gig because he was the guy that made the situation disappear down there in Miami with A-Rod, that whole deal. He was the guy that made it disappear somewhat. There's a great Netflix Screwball, if I'm not mistaken, the name of it is, documentary. Go ahead and watch that. And that's how Manfred became the commissioner of Major League Baseball. He's a complete slime ball. And here he is talking about business, real deal business with the Phillies as a check-in before the Sox and the Phillies game. And by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't the All-Star game and then that? No, they played before.
One more series. Yeah,
that's
one
right.
series before that. But
so
beginning of a series, it was weird. And I did want to read a little more because he said Harper was quiet for most of the meeting. This is from Jeff Passan again. He said sitting in a chair and holding a bat. Eventually grew frustrated and said if Major League Baseball were to propose a cap and hold firm to it, the players are not scared to lose 162 games. Sources from the meeting told ESPN. Harper stood up, walked toward the middle of the room, faced Manfred, and said, "If you want to speak about that, you can get the bleep out of our clubhouse." Manfred, sources said, responded that he was not going to get the bleep out of here, saying it was important to talk about threats to Major League Baseball's business and ways to grow the game. This is the best part right here.
Not on Monday before a Red Sox Phillies game.
Before the situation further intensified, veteran outfielder Nick Castellanos tried to diffuse the tension, saying, "I have more questions." Trying to just get in the middle and try and break the two up because he has more questions. He would go on to say, Castellanos, that he was very intense, definitely passionate. Both of them, the commissioner giving it back to Bryce and Bryce giving it back to the commissioner. That's Harp. He's been doing this since he was 15 years old. It's just another day. I was not surprised.
Yeah, and again, I've said it 3 times now. That's just not, there's no room for that discussion.
No.
To talk about MLB business and ways to grow the game before a game where they're actually going to play. No, I'm out on that. I don't care if you're the commissioner or the president of the United States. Stay out of the clubhouse before a game. There's just no time for that. If you want to go ahead and schedule an off day or the off season, that's when those conversations can be had. And again, you just had an all-star break. So maybe you slide one of them in. If you want to pop in as the commissioner and shake hands and show face, I have no issues with that. Who the hell is going to tell you can't do that? But immediately when you go into their domain and start talking about business and, oh, by the way, bringing up things like a salary cap, yeah, that's not going to play well for you. So Manfred is
one more good quote from Castellanos here for you. He said Rob Manfred seems to be in a pretty desperate place on how important it is to get this salary cap because he's floating the word lockout 2 years in advance of our CBA agreement expiration. That's nothing to throw around, Castellanos said. That's the same thing as me saying in a marriage, I think divorce is a possibility. It's probably going to happen. You don't just say those things.
Yes, it's very true.
He's right. Like it may be the worst possible time to ever have that conversation. Like showing up there, it's not like the players like Rob Manfred. Like they're not like buddy with the dude. So him showing up and doing that, it's just weird. And I mean, listen, it's good that Harper said it because somebody was going to say it eventually. Because it's not the time. And 2, it's hard to just throw a salary cap on these guys when there's not already. Once again, especially when there's no floor to anything.
All right. We got a lot to discuss. Luke's going to hang out with me for another segment here. I'm making him do it on a Monday. We're going to talk about Luis Roberts. Of course, all eyes on him now with the White Sox and the Phillies. We'll talk a little bit more about tonight's game as well. But on the other side, we got to go ahead and hit this because this was a topic we discussed last week on the show, and we were talking about the awards for MVP, and the only way that I said it would be up for grabs is if somebody got hurt. Well, Aaron Judge, come on down. So he's sidelined. The American League MVP race just got a whole lot juicier. Is it now Cal Raleigh's award to lose? We're going to talk about the AL MVP. We're even going to mix it up in the National League as well as a man who owns a 40-1 Kyle Schwarber ticket. Yeah, there's this guy by the name of Shohei. He's pretty good.
I got a hotter Schwarber ticket than you, though. I'll tell you that. I'm sweating that thing out.
Oh, yeah. You actually got a winnable ticket.
Good one.
Nice call by you. We'll go ahead and give you Luke's ticket on the other side. It's the daily ticket right here on The Gambler. Don't touch that dial.
The Gambler. Phillies home for all things sports gambling. Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Jan up on 295 southbound 70-30 with a down tree in the right lane. 95 northbound, stop go Girard up the bridge. Southbound, jam bridge to the Betsy Ross. Westbound, Schuylkill Heavy University to Girard and Boulevard to Belmont. Eastbound, backed up Montgomery Drive to South. All to tell total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Crispy chicken's better in a Taco Bell taco or burrito or both. Try Taco Bell's new crispy chicken taco and or burrito today at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. Contact store for availability.
Hey, it's Sean Brace. Make the most of your summer without stressing your budget. Use the Zip app. With Zip, you can make more happen this summer from front row to baseball game to last-minute grocery runs for that barbecue. Zip lets you comfortably pay over time with the flexible payment schedule. You can use Zip online and in-store almost anywhere Visa is accepted. Learn more at zip.co. Loans through Zip pay anywhere, and Zip web checkout, including any powered by Zip loans, are originated by WebBank.
Do you own or manage a business here in Philadelphia? Are you unsure where to start when it comes to advertising? Well, here's a surprise. Fox Sports The Gambler, your local iHeart station, is the one place you can get it all. Hey, it's Sean Brace, and we can help with everything from radio and podcast ads to social media and digital. And we can even get local voices like mine spreading the word about your business. So if you're looking for someone to take care of it all, do yourself a favor right now. Call 844-844-iHeart or visit iHeartAdvertising.com today.
The following heartwarming yet informative scene is brought to you by Trust and Will.
Son, your grandpa and I used to work on this car together, and when I'm gone, I want you to have it.
Wow. Thanks, Dad.
Doesn't count. What you need is a will. Luckily, Trust and Will makes it easy. Designed by attorneys, but customized by you, you can easily create a state-specific, legally valid document that actually counts. Now, let's hear this tiger purr, am I right? Start your will at trustandwill.com. Use offer code COUNT for 10% off and make it count. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. For details, see trustandwill.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
You've got apps for everything. Music, photos, even ordering coffee. But only one app gives you the live radio experience. It's radio your way. Anytime, anywhere. Join the millions already listening. The free iHeartRadio app. The #1 app for radio.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy chicken biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all 3 if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo while supplies last.
The Girlfriends is back with a new season. And this time, I'm telling you the story of Kelly Harnett. Kelly spent over a decade in prison for a murder she says she didn't commit. As she fought for her freedom, she taught herself the law.
He goes, oh, God, Harnett, jailhouse lawyer.
And became a beacon of hope for the women locked up alongside her.
I think I was put here to save souls by getting people out of prison.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search The Girlfriends Jailhouse Lawyer, and listen now.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
You know what this is? Here's Sean Brace on the Daily Ticket. Daily Ticket on Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler.
Let's go.
Yes, indeed. On a Monday, it's the Daily Ticket. Luke Arcaini, of course, hanging out with me all for the first hour, coming up at 5 o'clock. We got the boys with Picks and Roll, Sam Ostry, Sean Bernard, getting you caught up on all things in the NBA, Summer League, Sixers, having some fun, of course, getting their thoughts off here on July the 28th. But those boys, they be talking NBA all day, every day, 365. Trust me on that. There was a Luka picture that surfaced earlier today. LeBron is the headline always. But again, there's a lot to discuss from the Sixers perspective as well. So don't touch that down. Keep it locked right here to the Gambler. Luke and I are talking Phillies. AL MVP I want to get into in just a second, but I do want to hit this real quick because it was a huge deal last night. You started seeing things that Deion Sanders could be stepping away for a season, if not more, from Colorado. I didn't put any stock into it other than the fact that, like, yeah, it's been pretty quiet up there with Dion in Colorado. And of course, he lost his son to the NFL. Of course, Travis Hunter was drafted as well. So there's not a lot of flash, but there still is expectations. And he's built up a nice program over the first 2 seasons as the head coach with Colorado. And then he steps to the podium today and he reveals that he battled and beat bladder cancer. Yeesh. I love Dion. I grew up on Dion. I have always been a fan of Dion. I love when he gives it back to people. Is he full of himself? Have you ever heard him talk? Have you ever watched him play? Did you grow up with Dion? Yes, he's full of himself. It's prime time. It's Deion Sanders. So he is a true one of one. So that's where it starts and ends. The man beat cancer, right? Like F cancer. So I am so excited to hear that news. And I'm even more happy that he is going to continue to coach this year. We were having some fun in the Gambler Gang chat last night with the possibility that he could step away. Like, hey, do we look at the under? And then all of a sudden, was it you or Mark Henry Jr. that came said, no, man, we got to take the over on this.
I said they're playing for Dion now. Hammer that over, baby.
Yes.
Hammer the over.
I'm in. So it is great to hear, great to see, and a lot of love for Deion Sanders in Colorado. Again, I don't think that they're going to have the season that they did. They are better in the trenches, but they don't have the flash. They got a quarterback from Liberty, and a 17-year-old kid that I don't know. But again, just happy to see Deion on the sideline because he makes things interesting and relevant in Colorado. So did want to put that out there. It is football season coming up here. In 3 days, we have a football game. 3 days. Football season is back in our lives. Unbelievable. So we have plenty of time to talk some college ball and NFL all week long here on The Gambler, as we often do. But let's get on over to Major League Baseball. And as you can see on the headline right now that's running on the crawl, the AL MVP award is now extremely interesting. Luke, we talked about this last week. I think it was myself and Kyle Fisher, if I'm not mistaken, where we were floating around the idea that, yeah, look, these are the questions you have to ask yourself if you want to get a piece of the pie as far as make a wager on a guy like a Kyle Schwarber or Cal Raleigh, who was plus 800 when we had this discussion last week. And it was a matter of the fact that, hey, look, if the front runner, if the favorite gets hurt, that is the only way that these guys are going to end up losing the award. And I got pushback on the Aaron Judge thought. And I got to give Kyle Fisher some credit on that because I did not even believe. I said, look, if Aaron Judge goes down for an extended period, sure, maybe he can lose this award, but Aaron Judge's numbers are better this year than they were last year. He's leading the league in batting average. Yeah, I get it. Cal Raleigh's got the home runs, but man, Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge. He's a unicorn. He's a one of one right now. But of course, Judge goes down. He gets injured. He is dealing with the flexor strain that he did play through. Give him credit on that one. But he hurt himself in that Toronto series, and now he's going to miss a little bit of time. The expectation is that Judge will only need 10 days away from the team. We'll see what happens on that. But the award market for the AL MVP has really fired up. Aaron Judge is now even money. And as I said last week, I think he was as high as minus 600, low, whatever. Yeah. And then Cal Raleigh was plus 800. Now Cal Raleigh is minus 130. He went yard yesterday as well. He's leading the majors in home runs, understood. But Luke, I have to ask, is this a moment right now that as a bettor, we should go ahead and take Aaron Judge and buy low here at even money? Because just 5 days ago, he was minus 600. He's only going to miss 10 games. Or do you think this is Cal Raleigh's award to win right now?
No, I don't think it is. I think it is a 2-horse race. Obviously, this situation definitely hurts Judge. But if he comes back and hit 4 home runs in a week, he's right back up there with every number, still going to have the higher OPS. Like, I think it's telling that he went to the IL and he's still even money. I think in a lot of situations, I think if he went to the IL, he would have moved to like a plus 250, a plus 300. He's still even money. Like, I think one that's saying he's not going to be on the IL a long time. They said it's not anything in his elbow structurally, which seems like it could only be like a 2-week thing. But yeah, no, I think Aaron Judge is definitely in this race still. And I think it's a good time to probably get on it. I will say, as a man holding a 4-leg future ticket of Zach Wheeler, Cy Young,
Oh, you put this out last
Wheeler, Cy Young, Scooble, Cy Young, Shohei MVP, Judge MVP.
Yeah.
$10 to win 4,800. It's going to be a hell of a 2 months for me. I'll tell you that. Because I watched my guy go from -700 to +105 the other day, and that hurt me. So obviously I'm hoping a little bit for Judge here. But no, I think it's definitely a time to get on him, especially because it's only going to be, a 1 to 2 week injury. It's not something, listen, if he was out a month, it's probably over. But he's not. It seems like it'll only be like a 7 to 14 day thing. And once again, Aaron Judge can go on this streak where he hits 6 home runs in a week. And if he does that, he's right back in the race. He's there. And those odds will probably jump back up again, considering the guy has like an 1150 OPS on the season.
Yeah, to me, this is a no-brainer. This is a Judge play, and this is now the time to get in on this. If you didn't have a preseason ticket, hell, the preseason ticket probably wasn't all that much either.
It was no. I think I got Judge at like plus 150.
Yeah, sounds about right.
An absurd.
So and this is all love and respect to Cal Raleigh, who's having a phenomenal season. But just look at the numbers again. Yeah, he's got the home runs on Judge, but that's about it. He trails him in RBI, trails him in average, on base percentage. It goes on. Like Aaron Judge is having a fantastic season, and if he only misses that limited amount of time, I'm right there with you. I think this is a great opportunity for gamblers to get in on Aaron Judge to win the AL MVP at even money. I'd love to get you involved in the conversation at Fox PHL Gambler, at Fox PHL Gambler, as Kyle Fisher is checking in. He says, yep, jump on Judge. If you're getting at even money, right there with you on that one, Kyle. And it was a great conversation last week that, you know what, maybe I was a little bit heavy on my skis on that one, man, because I didn't think even if he got hurt that there would be an opportunity for Cal Raleigh to win this, but there are clearly plenty of people out there that did hop on the Raleigh train, as he is now minus 130. Again, over to the National League quickly on this one. Kyle Schwarber, who continues to hit bombs, 28-1 to win the NL MVP. I did see some folks that were talking about it this weekend. They got some play over at FanDuel. Shohei is Shohei. And even if Shohei didn't pitch, he is still hitting home runs left and right. I think he opened up after the All-Star break with 4 or 5 straight, took a day off, didn't hit a home run, and then hit another home run. The Dodgers are going to be winning that division. I know that they've leaked a little oil. They leaked oil last year, still came through. I mean this with all love and respect. As a man who owns 40-1, Kyle Schwarber, save your money. There are people out there that are saying, you know what, this is a time you should have a short. No, don't wager on the NL MVP. Don't do it. Shohei Ohtani.
The only way that I can tell you to is if I've seen a few books here and there. I can't remember exactly which ones, but I've seen like here and there, there's offerings of NL MVP without Shohei. And if you can jump on that, hoping basically whoever finishes second, if you get a nice number on Schwarber there, then I would absolutely jump on that. But
completely different market, but you're right.
He's not going to win, unfortunately. He's
if Shohei Ohtani gets hurt and you get that in front of you and you could see like, okay, he's going to miss a significant amount of time, then yes, you should take a flyer on somebody else. But right now he is minus 2,000 for a reason. He is your National League MVP. People are throwing the idea that voters could be tired. No, Shohei is simply one of the greatest players we've ever seen play the game of baseball. It's incredible. So Pete Crow Armstrong, though, 12-1.
He's really good. He's really good.
I know he's good. I know he's damn good, and he's having a great season. But 12-1 and Schwarber's 28-1. I feel like a little bit of disrespect there.
A little bit.
Little bit. And I will see Pete Crow Armstrong and the friendly confines of Wrigley Field this weekend. Bucket list on Sunday.
You going when you're out there? Absolutely.
We are. We're going on Sunday. We are flying back midnight with the specific reason of going to Wrigley Field to see the Orioles and the Cubs. So I could say I finally made Wrigley Field. I am so excited. Can't wait. Powers and I will be out there all weekend long, once again, live from the National, 3 to 6 p.m. And people probably have no idea what the hell the National is. The National is the card show, the trading card show all year, and it takes place in Chicago. It is called The National. And you want to talk about anybody and everybody? Yeah, they're there. So I can't wait. We're going to be live 3 to 6 on Friday, hanging out all day on Saturday, and then checking out the Cubs on Sunday. Speaking of Chicago, let's talk about tonight's game. Once again, the Phillies and the White Sox going head-to-head, and I love tonight's game. You know why, Luke? Because Christopher Sanchez is on the mound. I love watching Sanchez operate. Minus 238, big-time favorite. 8 is our total in this one. The White Sox are about as bad as it gets. Not as bad as last year, but they have 38 wins to speak to, I believe, right now.
Yes.
Where are you looking at? What's the number one thing that's going through your mind from the wagering perspective? And then I want to get your take on, of course, Luis Robert.
Yeah, I like hopping on the Phillies run line. I think that's just probably the best way to go. I think they go out there, they handle business with the better pitcher on the mound. The lineup's hot. If you were to start looking into some props, it's another righty. I would continue to ride the JT Realmuto train right now. He's the hottest hitter on the team. You can look for 2 bags in there. I will say though, and obviously it is Christopher Sanchez, the best left-handed pitcher in the National League. But this White Sox team has been scoring some runs recently, at least since the beginning of the All-Star break, so after the All-Star break. They've had 7, 10, 10, 11, 12, 8. Like, they've been scoring some runs. Granted, they've faced some iffy pitchers in there. They haven't faced anybody that's like Christopher Sanchez. But no, this should be a good one for the Phillies. Should be a fairly easier one. And this is a series. You go out, you take 2 or 3. Hopefully you sweep. If not, you win another series and you continue on because you got a big series, big one this coming weekend against the Detroit Tigers, who have been free falling a little bit. I believe they're 2-8 in their last 10. Haven't been hitting the ball great. Bullpen hasn't been great. So chance to win some games here over the next week, especially with how the Mets are playing right now.
Including Sunday Night Baseball taking place at Citizens Bank Park.
I will say we were supposed to – I have to pull up who was supposed to pitch for the Phillies in that game. We were supposed to be blessed with
a Wheeler
Scooble versus Suarez Friday night, but it seems like Scooble's wife is about to have her baby, so there's a chance he won't pitch in Philadelphia. So yeah, that one stinks. I was really excited to watch him pitch Friday night in person. Granted, I don't know, maybe she could have it late or early, but it seems like she is due very, very soon, possibly this week. So there's a chance he won't be out there in Philly.
You're not getting that anywhere else. Luke Arcaini's telling you about Scooble's wife. Come on, you're not getting that anywhere else on the airwaves right now. Once again, tonight's game, Phillies and White Sox. Right-hander Davis Martin getting the start for the White Sox. He is seeking his first victory since May the 14th. He's 2-8 with a 3.89 ERA. He missed about 5 weeks with a right forearm strain. Returned to the rotation Tuesday at Tampa Bay, taking the loss after yielding 4 runs, 3 earned, and 3 hits in 5 innings. He walked a season-high 4 while striking out 3. So hopefully this is an opportunity for the Phillies bats to stay hot. Again, I like that JT train. I can get down with that. Trey as well. Should we be looking at the lefty here? Should we be, maybe Harper getting into a groove here? Schwarber should be looking more lefty than righty and staying with, of course, the cliche. But a Trey is swinging a hot bat. JT is about as hot as it gets with hits in 13 out of his last 14. So why not ride with who brought you to the dance?
I will say, too, if you want to be that guy, and I know some people like to always take players on both teams, the guy to bet it tonight is Luis Robert. I mean, 970 OPS this year against lefties. Even with how good Sanchez is, if there's a guy to bet on the White Sox against lefties, it is 100% Luis Robert tonight.
Give me your thoughts on if the Phillies end up getting him in a trade. What are you saying to that deal? What are the Phillies getting in return for Luis Robert Jr.? What is your thoughts on that potential trade there?
Yeah, so it's not – I don't think it's going to be a ginormous package. I think obviously, 2 years ago compared to now, his price is not what it was just because he has
27 still.
Yeah, 27. So it seems like he's under control, but he's really not. So he has 2 club options the next 2 years that are very pricey. And, unless he comes here and absolutely lights it up, the clubs probably aren't going to take that option on. But yeah, listen, I'm in on it. I think he's some good protection behind Bryce. And, I think he just screams to me as a guy that just needs to go play for a contender. He just seems like a guy that would thrive on a good baseball team. I think if you put that player in the bank in October and he gets a hold of one, that thing's going to go far. And I think it's a spark. I think it's a good outfielder. It's not like this team's loaded with good outfielders right now. So, he would be an immediate upgrade. Obviously, more against lefties than righties. It's a 400-point difference in OPS, 966 against lefties, 525 against righties. But that guy can hit the baseball, especially when it's against lefties. I don't think it's going to be too crazy of a package. I think it could turn into maybe a top 7 prospect and a mid-level prospect. It's hard because there's some guys you just can't really get the gauge of what teams want. Like 2 years ago, if you traded for Luis Robert 2 years ago, right now, one of Adam Miller or Justin Crawford would have to go because he was a better baseball player 2 years ago than he was now. Now, it's not as big of a package. It'll still be a nice package because technically he's a controllable outfielder that can hit for power. But, it's going to be a crazy package. But I think it's something the Phillies are definitely checking in on. It seems like there's been a few reports that they've been looking at the White Sox and potentially monitoring that situation. This is going to be a big one for them. And I feel like I can pretty confidently say I feel like this will be Dombrowski's biggest deadline. Because it feels like in years past, there's been a lot of reports that have come out that have been like, they don't want to trade Adam Miller and they don't want to trade Justin Crawford and they don't want to trade Andrew Painter and they don't want to trade this guy, that guy, this guy, this guy. Those reports aren't really out this year. It's a lot of the Phillies want controllable players. And yes, I think the outlier there is Suarez from the Diamondbacks. That is one rental player that I think the Phillies would like to trade for. But it seems like they're more focused this year on controllable players that aren't rentals. And obviously, the more control you have, the bigger the package is. There was an article a few weeks ago from The Athletic saying that it doesn't seem like Adam Miller's 100% off the table. It doesn't seem like Crawford's 100% off the table. Andrew Painter's still the one guy it seems like they won't deal. But I don't know if there's many, off the table guys as there has been in the last few years. And I think that says a lot about the type of trade deadline that at least they want to have. Now, once again, like we said today with the relievers, this whole Emmanuel Clase thing really screws a lot of teams because guys like Griffin Jacks and Johan Duran and David Bednar and Ryan Helsley, all of their prices went up as far as relievers. So, elite controllable relievers are going to cost more than they did 5 hours ago because now the best option's off the table. There's a limited amount and teams know that some of these teams are going to be willing to overpay. I think if the Mets get a situation where they can bring a good reliever in, they're going to overpay. This Dodgers team needs a reliever. Like, it's been a rough year for Yates. Scott's been brutal. He's on the IL now. Like, they're big offseason acquisitions for their bullpen that everyone was like, why didn't the Phillies sign? It feel like a good move at the time. They've both been really bad here. So that team really needs bullpen help. And if we know about the Dodgers, they don't care about their farm system. Like they are going to go win now. They did it last year, right? They make these under the radar moves. They traded for Tommy Edman last year, and I'm pretty sure he won NLCS MVP. Like,
wow,
they're going to make the moves, and teams are going to overpay. And I think teams like the Twins and the Guardians and the Pirates, they know that, and that's why I think now with Emmanuel Clase going out, I don't think you're going to start seeing big trades until, maybe tomorrow. Usually Tuesday, things kind of start to pick up. Wednesday and Thursday are obviously the big days, but I think these trades are going to be happening a little later now because I think some wars are about to be started between teams.
Yeah, look, trade deadline's Thursday, 6 p.m. We'll be all over for you right here on The Gamble. We'll be live in studio. Sam Osher's going to be with me. We'll have Natalie Eggenoff in the 5 o'clock hour. Luke will be joining us throughout the course of the day on the phone. Read him at crossingbroad.com. We'll see what happens. I do feel like Luis Robert could be that type of guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's hitting, the average isn't there, but he's still good defensively, steals a bunch of bags. I don't think it's going to cost a lot. I'm sure that there are teams that are interested in him, but I feel like he could be the guy that the Phillies end up with. I don't know if that's going to satisfy a lot of people's hunger out there, especially Mark Henry Jr.'s, who wants that big thumper of a bat. You're not getting that with Luis Robert, at least this year, but he did hit 38 bombs 2 seasons ago. That was a long time ago. Different player, but who knows? Bring him to Citizens Bank Park in fall and October, and it could be a whole different ball game. Luke, you're the best. Great hour here, giving us all of the details as far as the Phillies and everything around the world of Major League Baseball. We'll read you at All Things Crossing Broad and find you on socials at Arcaini_Luke. You're the best, man. Enjoy the rest of your day and get some sleep, because you're going to be busy over these next few days.
Yeah, not much sleep the next few days. Thanks, Sean.
You the man. There he is. Luke Arcaini on the Gambler Stream. We keep it moving here. I do want to bring this up because Kyle Fisher checking in. Davis Martin allowed 3 earned runs plus in his 3 of his last 4 starts. Right-handed hitters have a 2.88 average with a 4.71 slug. Interesting. Yeah, see, I'm looking at Trey. I'm looking at JT. They're about as hot as it gets right now. So from the standpoint of this evening with the White Sox and the Phillies, you would just hope to believe that the Phils are going to continue their winning ways. They'll find a way to win a game out there in Chicago tonight with Sanchez on the mound. He's been magnificent. I think last time he was on the bump, he ended up striking out 10, went the complete game. That's right, at Citizens Bank Park. I believe that was his last start. So give me some more of that. I like the Phillies in a big way this evening. Stay hot with the bats. And I'm looking at the righties. So go Trey, go JT instead of, with the cliche with, of course, getting the lefty versus righty there. All right, other side. We got a lot to get to from the weekend. Have you seen the headlines out of Dallas with Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones talking about it to the media, and CeeDee Lamb saying today that you can't win the media game with Jerry Jones? Like, imagine it playing for the Dallas Cowboys and how bad that would have to suck. It can't make it any more clear than that. Versus what takes place here in Philadelphia and how Howie Roseman likes to reward players that actually do well and perform. And you know what? You get rewarded and you stay here with the contract. Micah Parsons has played his ass off for the Dallas Cowboys. And you got Jerry Jones saying out loud that he has to, quote, accept the money that is being sent his way as well. What a disrespectful comment. We'll continue talking all things Dallas, man. They do drama like nobody else in the NFL. We'll talk about some college football as well with the news with Deion Sanders. Go over those win totals, expectations, and more. But on the other side, again, from the weekend, great weekend in golf. I want to talk about the 3M Ryder Cup fast approaching. So many headlines to get to from the weekend. Again, Phillies and White Sox going at it this evening. DraftKings Sportsbook showing the Phillies a minus 238 monster favorite with Sanchez on the mound. A lot to get to on the other side. More Daily Ticket after this.
Spreads, totals, and all the prop bets in between. It's the Gambler.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement, $999.99 and qualifying for it. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Payoff via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Your summer might be winding down, but there's still plenty of warm weather on the way. And at Macy's, it's the perfect time to shop late summer deals like cotton dresses from Karl Lagerfeld and more that you can wear now and layer up later for $150 and under. Plus, new Levi's are here, like trending cinched waist jeans for 30% off. So come into Macy's and walk out with late summer deals too good to miss. Starting Wednesday at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
If you want way more food for way less dollars, you've got it with Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. From classics to favorites to new items like the crispy chicken burrito. Get more for less. Only at Taco Bell. At participating stores, which vary. Limited time. Drinks exclude freezes. Tax extra.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz. Major League Baseball has placed Guardians closer Emmanuel Clase on paid leave. It's through August 31st in an expanded sports betting probe. Phillies first baseman Bryce Harper, he reportedly went nose-to-nose with MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred last week during a meeting about the game's economics. And Eagles wide receiver Devontae Smith was held out of today's training camp session. He's got some back tightness. No timetable for his return yet. I'm Scott Davidson.
The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Visit your local authorized dealer or learn more at mbusa.com/dream.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
We're on the Schuylkill westbound University to Girard and Boulevard past Gladwin. Police activity in the right lane. Eastbound Schuylkill, stop and go Montgomery Drive to south. 95 northbound back to Girard to Bridge. Southbound Jan Coppin to the Betsy Ross. All right, to tell the total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Payday. Hardworking people need a hardworking candy bar. Packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel, Payday is definitely working hard for you. So grab one now to power you through the day. Payday Peanut Caramel Bar. Get to it.
The following heartwarming yet informative scene is brought to you by Trust and Will.
Son, your grandpa and I used to work on this car together, and when I'm gone, I want you to have it.
Wow. Thanks, Dad. Doesn't count. What you need is a will. Luckily, Trust and Will makes it easy. Designed by attorneys, but customized by you can easily create a state-specific, legally valid document that actually counts. Now let's hear this tiger purr, am I right? Start your will at trustandwill.com. Use offer code MARK for 10% off and make it count. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. For details, see trustandwill.com.
Stay tuned to Fox PHL The Gambler for the latest CEOs you should know.
Brian Clark, CEO and Executive Director of Greater Philadelphia Health Action.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Quiet down, here she comes. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Check out Behind the Flow, a podcast documentary series following the launch of San Diego Football Club.
San Diego coming to MLS is going to be a game changer because this region has been hungry for a men's professional soccer team.
We need to embrace this community.
Listen to San Diego FC Behind the Flow on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Behind the Flow and start listening.
#1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeart Radio app. WDAS and WD273D Philadelphia is Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler.
It's good to be back. Daily Ticket with you here in studio. I just saw my main man Moose from Swingin' and Ding It out there at Pebble Beach. What's that, hole 7 out there, the par 3? Put it about 8 feet from the pin. Good Lord, what a tee shot. Nice. Let's see here. I think that's, par 3-7. Yeah. Oh, what a shot. What a shot, Moose. Nice work. Swinging and Ding It Open coming our way in October this year, football season. Yeah, who wants to play in that heat? I did play golf last week on Friday. And I was taking medication, obviously, with the whole nonsense that I was dealing with. Doctor put me on some steroids. So you're thinking like, hey, man, let's do this. Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, man. I'm going to be hitting some bombs out there. I was winded beyond belief, and it was 96 degrees at 10 a.m. I didn't have a lot of juice. I didn't have a lot of gas in the tank, and was struggling to close that 18 out. Was literally about to throw the white flag in and just be like, I got to roll, man. I can't do this. I was not hitting it well at all in that second 9. But we did fight through it and finish. But, man, it was hot as could be. As I did bring up, the Swingin' and Ding It Open is coming our way in football season, and it's fast approaching. We do have a football game going off on Thursday night, and that would be the Chargers. And who else is playing on Thursday night? You just posted about it. What's the matter with me? The Chargers, it's the Hall of Fame game. Let's see here. The Chargers and the Lions. So we got the Detroit Lions and the Chargers going head-to-head Hall of Fame game out there in Canton, Ohio. And I'm not going to waste your time with a spread, although if I could pull it up right now, why not? I don't have a preseason spread here. Those are just regular season kicks. But bottom line is football season's here. So I'm driving in this afternoon, and Danny Parkins is a gentleman that is filling in for Colin Cowherd at this point in time. The show before me from 12 to 3. Danny Parkins is a personality on Fox Sports Radio or Fox Sports Television. It's pretty good on radio. I will give him all the credit in the world. Like when I do hear him, I'm like, damn. He's a good host, a very good host. It's no shock. While Cowherd, who loves radio personalities, felt something for him and helped him get over to Fox. And now he's doing bigger things, and he's sticking around, and he's going to be on the show with Nick Wright and Chris Broussard and whatever. Not First Things First, whatever it is, the show that comes up later. It's not a bad show. Nick Wright, no one likes him, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's still at least worth your time to watch if you do tune in. But Danny Parkins filling in today. And I don't know why they ended up getting into this conversation. We all have our quarterbacks in the league that we are biased to, whether it is the fact that they play for your favorite team or a guy that, you liked coming out of college. Like Michael Penix is a guy that I said all along that I thought that the Falcons made the right move by drafting him. The Kirk Cousins deal was the worst part of that, but drafting Penix I had no issues with because I do believe in Penix. Like those are the certain type of quarterbacks stories that, that continue to come back and make you want to pull for them. And maybe you get tied to the hip with them when you do this for a living, right? When you talk about this stuff. I don't know what it was, but this conversation between Danny Parkins and Chris Broussard on my way in almost made me hit the median on 76. Like, do you take drugs, Danny? Listen to what Danny Parkins and Chris Broussard, as they call Brew, had to say.
Let's just say the trade was offered. Herbert for Hurts. Who says no?
Philly.
No, they would not.
Now, A.J. Brown might not say no, or Devontae Smith, but I think Philly says no. How you doing the tush push with Justin Herbert?
You're handing it to Saquon Barkley, and you're throwing the ball to Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. We could get rid of the tush push.
Like I said, there's some fun there, right? Like, I guess his quarterback is Justin Herbert, who I like Justin Herbert. When we talk about Justin Herbert on this program / airwaves, of course, we think about Sean Bernard, who has been anti-Herbert from day one, it feels like. Herbert has had some really good games and pretty good seasons, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously had the 2 collapses of postseason, played bad in that second half against Jacksonville, and had 4 interceptions last time out against the Houston Texans last year in the playoffs. Understood. But he's about, 27, 26, however old he is? Putting that to the side, let's just focus on what he said.
Let's just say the trade was offered. Herbert for Hurts. Who says no?
Yeah, Philly says no. And he says no, they won't. Philly says no. Philly absolutely says no. 10 out of 10 times. why, again, if you want to sit here and say it's going to be a 7-on-7 game, like you're going to change it up, maybe flag football, maybe we can go ahead and have a discussion about Justin Herbert as a pocket passer, a little bit better than Jalen Hurts, whatever it may be. Like, you can get me to at least see that. But if we're keeping apples to apples, specifically the NFL game on Sundays when they do play it, yet there's no doubt in my mind 100 out of 100 times the Eagles, Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, Nick Sirianni, whatever you want to say, coach, owner, front office, manager, whatever, they're going to say Jalen Hurts, we're staying with our guy. He has proven time and time again to be the right guy for the job. Justin Herbert, look, I get it. He's young, but so is Jalen Hurts. Justin Herbert, I don't think, is getting this team to a Super Bowl last year. I don't think Justin Herbert is winning those crunch time games. I don't think he's making those throws right now in his career. Jalen Hurts has done that. Jalen Hurts has now outplayed the opposition, who happens to be Patrick Mahomes, in 2 Super Bowl games. Played his ass off in both of those games. Like, Hurts steps up in those moments. Herbert hasn't delivered. It's just so funny to me. And I don't dude, Philly absolutely says no to that. Am I do you take drugs, Danny, from Caddyshack? Am I out of my mind on that one? Like, I literally almost wanted to hit the wall because the way he said it, he was so adamant about it. No, Philly absolutely would say no to that. They would take Herbert in a heartbeat. No, they would not. Jalen Hurts is their quarterback. He has proven it. And I'm okay with anybody that wants to sit there and talk about the offensive line, the weapons around him. No doubt in my mind that he is lifted up because of the players around him. That's what this game is all about. It's about winning Super Bowls. It's not about winning lists. It's not about being number one on Danny Parkins's list. Who the hell cares about that? It's about playing in January and making something of your career as far as legacies are concerned and winning the big games all the way through February. Jalen Hurts has done that and then some. Justin Herbert's got a long way to go. Very odd, but he was lock, stock, and barrel on that one. And man, Bruce Sard's voice. I don't claim to have the best voice, but that voice. it's really deep. It's really deep. It gets you really good when you're wearing headphones. Let's put it that way. All right. Quickly on this, because I want to have some fun here. We'll come up a little bit later talking, get back to the Phillies, get everything going there. Once again, Christopher Sanchez on the mound. A lot of fun to talk about Sanchez and the expectations for tonight, especially what he's been able to do all season long and the last time that he did take the mound for the Phillies. But I do want to bring up what we saw over the weekend, because I look, as far as I'm concerned, I know the majors are front and center for everybody out there, and we do have Beth Page coming up here with the Ryder Cup, which can't wait for that. But the 3M Open out there in Minnesota delivered and then some. It was insane to be able to sit back and watch that yesterday. And I will be front and center with you and tell you that I backed Akshay Bhatia, my guy, who I'm a big fan of. And he folded right from the jump with a bogey on the first hole out from the chute. But Kurt Kitayama was insane yesterday. He was about as hot as it gets. What he was able to do, I think he shot a 60, if I'm not mistaken, on Saturday, and then followed it up again with what he was able to do on Sunday, and it was dominant. He shot a 65 on Sunday. Just a dominant performance by Kurt Kitayama to win the 3M Open. And I'll tell you, those courses are a little wide open. You saw some higher scores, of course, out there. Numbers being thrown up by a lot of good golfers. But you look down the list of who was actually in it and in the running. And that's what, we talk about the game, where we're at right now versus years past when Tiger was having his dominant season. I look at what we had yesterday, the names at the top of the leaderboard, and then some, guys that fell off a little bit, like Goddard didn't finish strong, but he was playing really well all weekend long. As I said, I'm a huge Akshay guy. I think the world of his talent. Kitayama's been around for a minute, but still he was lighting it up. Adam Scott played well. I think he finished 11 under. You look at it. I mean, how many golfers were 11 under or better here? This this tour is in great shape. Some great golf was played yesterday. Tuned into that, made a losing wager. It felt like a major Sunday. Oh well. But man, I enjoyed when getting the opportunity to watch some of these names that we don't get the to watch throughout the course of these big time spots. When of course Scheffler's running away with it, or JT's at the top, or Rory. But there's some great golf being played on the PGA Tour. And for my money, way better than the Live Tour, but that's another discussion for another day for the people that do enjoy Live. And I've actually watched a lot more Live this year. But Kurt Kitayama was able to cash in, I think, at 40-1 was his number going off on Thursday. So credit to anybody that did have him, including Wes Reynolds from VSiN, one of the better golf handicappers for my money out there. Wes Reynolds from VSiN does a bang-up job. He's got a podcast called Long Shots. Definitely well worth the listen every single week when they put that out, because he breaks down the field very well, goes in depth on the course, and knows what he's talking about from the gambling perspective, as he cashed in again with with KK, as they say, to win yesterday at the 3M. Now, as I said, all eyes, of course, we got the playoffs coming up. A lot of fun to watch those, and they did change some things up as far as standings are concerned, something that we'll see how that plays out. It would shock me if Scotty doesn't win it again. But all eyes are on Bethpage and the Ryder Cup that's coming up here at the end of September. And that's going to get the juices going, because there's already a little bit of banter going back and forth. And Bryson is saying some things, and that's good. Like, I don't care who's got the mouth from USA. Let's just, enough is enough. Gotta win. You're at home. The place is going to be on fire. It's going to be a tough spot for these Europeans to come in and win. But they got a really good roster as well. So it wouldn't shock me if that happens. Again, DraftKings Sportsbook. Let's look at those numbers real quick if we could. I've yet to look at what the Ryder Cup is. USA -145, Europe +115. It's a good price, good number there. Interesting stuff from a betting perspective. Yeah, like, I'm not here to tell you that Europe is going to lose, but man, USA, Bethpage, I can't wait. It's going to be insane to tune in and watch those for the couple days, for that week leading up and all that more. But again, great weekend in the game of golf with the 3M, Kurt Kitayama getting the job done there. Not too much other than that happening around as far as the world of sports. I didn't really tune too much into anything from the WNBA. Was able to catch a little bit of a movie yesterday, Lilo and Stitch. Watched that, the remake, rented that at the house. With a newborn, you're not able to go to the movie theater. So I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and bring the movies home, and spent the pretty penny to rent that movie with the daughter. So she loved it. But other than that, not a lot happening in the sports world. Again, NFL front and center for us coming up here on Thursday with the Hall of Fame game. We're talking all things college football. The big news of the day today, Deion did battle cancer and was able to get it out of his body, and he will be coaching this year. He was dealing with bladder cancer. I think they removed a tumor, if I'm not mistaken. So he had a little bit of a press conference. So that was good to see and great to hear from Deion's perspective, as he will be back on the sideline. Man, his health is really, really bad. So I was expecting him to take the season off, but it doesn't seem like that will be the case. We'll talk a lot about Colorado on this week's Beef Up Front. We're recording tomorrow night, myself and Ryan Coyle. So look forward to getting his thoughts on all things Colorado for the outlook this year. And I know we were having some fun with the possibility of Deion stepping down. Is this an opportunity for us to fade the Buffaloes this year? Not so fast, my friend. No, because you got to go ahead and say that they're going to be playing for Deion. So now is the time to possibly take the over on the win total. Again, they have a tough game. They open up with Georgia Tech, so we'll see how that one works out. I did want to bring up from the NFL, though, one thing that did catch my attention, a pretty good sit down with Aaron Rodgers and Kyle Brandt from the NFL Network. Everybody loves Kyle Brandt. And Rodgers is now the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The expectations aren't really there for me. I don't think that they're going to make the playoffs this year. I really don't. I think, and I still think Rodgers can sling it. I like some of the moves that they made. Of course, DK on the defensive side of the ball, some of the moves that they made as well. I just don't see the Pittsburgh Steelers making the playoffs this year. I'm willing to bet that the Steelers do miss the playoffs, but you know, it's one thing when you go sign for a new team and an absolute legend, one of the mouthpieces for one of the networks that carries games. I'm talking about Fox with Terry Bradshaw. comes out and says some really, throw some shade your way. And he told Aaron Rodgers, quote, to chew on bark, and essentially made it feel like, you know what, we don't need you here in Pittsburgh. Well, Rodgers, credit to Kyle Brandt, finally had an opportunity to respond to those comments, and I gotta give it up to Aaron Rodgers. I thought he did very well with this Q&A here. Here's the answer to reaction to Terry Bradshaw's comments from training camp over the weekend.
I've known Terry for a long time, being a part of Fox. Terry's a legend. He's an absolute legend. He won 4 Super Bowls. He's had a legendary career in the media. But Terry, like a lot of people, doesn't know me. And so he's got an idea of what he thinks about me based on what I've done, the documentary, what I've said, Darkness Retreat, whatever the hell you want to talk about. I'd love to get to know Terry on a deeper level. And I feel like if he gave me a chance to get to know him, then we'd have a good friendship, because for me, I have nothing but the utmost amount of respect and deference for what the greats have done, because they laid the foundation for us to be able to play in this great game, to be paid like kings, and to carry on the tradition of excellence that guys like the Bradshaws of the world in the 70s, and Bart Starr in the 60s, and Lombardi, and Joe Montana, and Steve Young, and Troy Aikman, and Brett Favre, and all the greats that have been over, Tom Brady. We're standing on the backs of those guys, and it's because of how they played and how they carried themselves that we're able to have this opportunity to still play this great game, to get paid really well, to set ourselves up for our future. So I'd love to get to know Terry on a deeper level if he's open to it, and maybe we can go chew some bark or whatever the hell he's talking about together.
I thought that was a great response. Nice work by Aaron Rodgers there. I thought that was a phenomenal answer. Truthful, right? That's what we want. We want some honesty in our answers and our responses, and I thought that was very good by Aaron Rodgers. And you know what? Kyle Brandt doesn't seem like the guy that would be like, you know what, this is a question I'm going to ask you. Maybe he did. Maybe he had him prepared, whatever. But I thought that was off the cuff and a thoughtful answer. And the chew on bark deal, it's just, I don't know why Terry Bradshaw said that. He essentially told him to, stay in California, talk to the gods, and chew on bark. Yeah, that quarterback position was pretty bleak. So I would welcome Aaron Rodgers if I actually did care about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not going to say that they got that right, but bottom line is Rodgers is a lot better than what they had last year. And we'll see. All in all, you got to put it together on Sundays. Oh, by the way, did you know this from the schedule perspective? Because I did not. Pittsburgh Steelers open up with the New York Jets, 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 week 1 in New York at MetLife. And of course, Rodgers with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and going back to Jersey to take on the Jets, where the Steelers are 3-point favorites. 38.5 is our total right now on DraftKings Sportsbook. We're getting closer. Thought that was pretty cool. Nice work by the schedule makers on that one. Of course, they know what they're doing. But a lot of fun that will be had with that week leading up to that matchup there. Again, Pittsburgh, don't have much expectation for them. I just think that's a tough division. And the AFC, you're going to see some new teams pop up, possibly that's going to get some, good quarterback play, make a little bit of a run, make some noise, and somebody's going to get pushed out. And I just feel like it's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers on the outside looking in. And Tomlin could very well be done after this year. I'm getting that vibe too, where Mike Tomlin said, you know what, maybe it's time for me to go out and find something new. Could potentially end up with the New York Giants. You never know. We'll see how this one plays out this year with the Giants. But all in all, Tomlin would be a hot candidate if he did leave Pittsburgh as the head coach. Football season inching closer. You got to love it. All right, keep it moving here. We will talk a little bit more about the NFL on the other side. We'll go over some of those week 1 numbers that I do have as far as odds are concerned with those matchups. Again, I think it's fun to go ahead and jab at it from the talking point as far as the schedule makers are concerned and why they came up with these matchups. Definitely intriguing on a few of these. And again, I don't think I've talked about week 1 matchups yet, so this would be the first time. But a lot of fun with the Hall of Fame game this week. So I think now all of a sudden we're all starting to focus on football just a little bit more, and that is a beautiful thing. It's the Daily Ticket. We got a lot more to get to. Coming up at 5 o'clock, though, got myself, I got my guys, Sean Bernard and Sam Ostry, doing a little picks and roll, talking some Summer League catch-up. Of course, what's the latest with the 76ers, the NBA? You know the NBA does the drama just as well as the Dallas Cowboys. LeBron James, there's a picture of him out there surfacing. Of course, Luka's on the cover, looking all bulk and ripped and ready to go for another season with the Lakers. A lot to talk about in the NBA, and Sam Ostry and Sean Bernard will do so at 5 o'clock. Don't touch that dial. More Daily Ticket after this.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is back in Vegas.
T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live only on Hulu. A weekend full of superstar performances. Listen starting next Monday to win your way there.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
We've got down tree causing problems in South Jersey. It's 295 southbound, bumper to bumper, 73 to 30. That's where the right lane is blocked. South on 42, heavy volume for the Walt Whitman to Creek Road. The Vine Expressway eastbound tied up Schuylkill to Broad. Westbound backed up Parkway to the Schuylkill Merge. Westbound Schuylkill, Jan, University to Girard. Crawling Boulevard to Gladwin with police activity in the right lane. Eastbound, so Blue Route to Belmont and Montgomery Drive past South. Large Totella, total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying for it. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
The last thing anyone wants is to leave behind confusion, stress, or worse, family conflict. That's why estate planning isn't just for the wealthy. It's for families like mine, and probably like yours. With Trust and Will, I created my estate plan in minutes, from naming guardians for my kids to putting our house in a trust to avoid probate. Fast, affordable, and way easier than I thought. Every plan is designed by estate planning attorneys and customized for your state. Plans start at just $199 and include essentials like healthcare directives and power of attorney. With Trust and Will's bank-level security and built-in privacy protections, your personal information and your wishes stay safe. Whether you're newly married, raising kids, caring for aging parents, or just want peace of mind, Trust and Will makes it easy to protect what matters most. Go to trustandwill.com, use code RADIO at checkout, and save 20% on your personalized plan. Because there's no better time to protect the people you love. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey, more like Mira joyed that Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com. All right, Daily Ticket coming down the stretch here on a Monday. Having some fun back in studio. It's been a little bit, man. It's been a little bit. Great to be back hearing this. The tones, the bass, everything at my fingertips. Folks, I'll tell you what, speaking of football season, we got a lot coming our way. Weekend programming. We are trying to raise the bar like we've never done before. It's the time of year. We're a little late, as always. Always a little late, but that's all right. That's all right. We're making some noise. That's all I know, man. And I'm looking forward to it with the Gambler Gang and then some. So keep your eyes out for some breaking news as far as where we will be. And looking forward to another Villanova football season coming our way. Week 3 against Penn State. We're going to be broadcasting live out there for that one. Can't wait. That's going to be unbelievable to be at. My first time at a Penn State football game. Yeah, how about that? Never been to a Penn State football game. Speaking of things I've never done before. My Lord. So like I'm okay to say that people make mistakes, right? Like, 'cause nobody's perfect in life. Nobody is perfect. And if you think you're perfect, then look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you're not. Because nobody is. We all make mistakes. We all get caught up in emotion, sometimes aided by some substance or the poison, as we like to say. And we make bad decisions. Sometimes we're just knuckleheads. We were raised in bad environments and we can't get that out of our system. And next thing you know, we think the world revolves around us and we make dumb, boneheaded decisions being sober. I don't know. We're not perfect as a society. We're not perfect as human beings. We're flawed. Sometimes, as I said, with emotion, sometimes you're feeling good when you're sitting next to your lady friend or your significant other or your partner. And I believe the term is horny. Sometimes you get a little horned up. Sometimes you get a little, you get that tingle and you feel it down in your plums, down in your loins, and you're like, oh, man, I can't wait to take this back to the house. I can't wait to take this back to the room. I can't wait for a little late night loving. Nothing better, right? Nothing better. But that's the point, is you're supposed to take that back with you to the house, to the room. If you can't wait, to the car. Not in public space. Not in Mile High Club, although it's cool if you were in it and you got away with it, fine. And as I get older, these are the things that hit you a little bit different. Like, oh, that's disgusting. When you're in your 20s, you're like, yeah, man, that girl wanted me, like whatever. I got stories. We all have stories. I have a friend of mine that actually did dirty in a porta potty down at spring break. Think about that for a second, how nasty that is. Yeah. And we all make bad decisions. Now, that was not me, but I've made plenty of bad decisions. If you have no idea where I'm going, then you apparently don't pay attention to the timeline or don't belong on social media, which is probably a win for you in the long run. But a video surfaced yesterday with a couple at Yankee Stadium in the upper deck of right field. And it was a gentleman probably in the 25 to 20, I'll say 20 to 25 range. So I think I'm covered there. With a flat-brimmed hat straight up off his head, shades on, looking stoic, not moving, not doing anything to the naked eye. But next to him was a young lady who was in a weird pair of shoes. First thing I looked at. A couple tattoos. Again, the video that we saw on the timeline is from the back, looking down upon these two young whippersnappers enjoying themselves a Sunday afternoon game in the Bronx between the Phillies and the Yankees. He was a Phillies fan. She, if you look close enough, was wearing a Yankee shirt. She had her hair pulled back. She had shades on. And the people were videoing, and I'm watching, and I'm saying to myself, why are they videoing this couple? And then all of a sudden, this girl starts to shake a little bit and almost like twitch. And look, in this day and age, we all have issues, right? Who knows, right? It could be dealing with a certain thing that is an illness that she takes medication for. I don't know. She could have Parkinson's. I don't know. She was shaking. Again, he's not moving, but they're filming. And that's where, the light bulb goes off. Well, why would these people in the right field seats be filming this couple if they're not doing anything, right? Then all of a sudden, Phillies fan hits the spot. And the twitching / shaking turns into almost convulsions. Almost like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is happening in the right field seats. And oh, by the way, there's no home runs happening. There's no runs being scored. Nothing's happening on the field that's getting y'all hot and bothered. No. This Phillies fan, flat brim hanging off the top of his head, 20 to 25-year-old whippersnapper, is literally pleasuring the girl next to him in broad daylight underneath her leg with his hand. Yes, you do the math on that. Checking for the pulse of the game down there, I guess. Good grief, man. What are we doing? He didn't stop, and I don't think she let him. They kept going and going and going until the finish happened. And my goodness, the thing that hit me the most was the fact that the awareness of the lack thereof of you have people that are laughing. You got people doing play-by-play. This isn't hard to realize. First of all, you shouldn't be doing it. Second of all, people are watching you. In this day and age, everybody's got an iPhone. Everybody's got a video camera. You can't do anything these days and think you're going to get away with it. Automatically, if you're going to break the law, you're going to steal something, you're going to spray paint something, or if you're going to go 2 knuckles deep on your girl in the right field seats, you are going to get caught.
My Lord.
Unbelievable. That video floored me. And not much does this day and age on the timeline. This dude and this lady, this girl, are in the right field seats, broad daylight, videotaped as he is pleasuring her while the game is going on. It's a Sunday afternoon game. This isn't Dollar Dog night. This isn't college day at the ball yard. This isn't a minor league operation. This is the Yankees and the Phils, and you're out there,
my Lord,
getting some action in the seats. Not a glove in sight. Unbelievable. And as if that isn't enough, part 2 of the video happened. And I'm sitting there watching part 1, just laughing. Part 2 was the part that I said, you know what? These two need to be locked up and banned from every Major League Baseball park, every professional stadium possible. Because this dude, part 2 of the video, as he finishes up, she's twitching beyond belief. Like if somebody had a better angle, I don't even know what's probably on the floor. Ugh, come on. Like, my Lord. You know, there's probably a nasty substance on the ground in front. Like, that's how disgusting this is. If we had another angle. This dude pulls his hands out, right? All of a sudden, now you see the hand on video, looks over at her, and you know exactly where I'm going with this. Almost like to taste victory. Yes. My Lord. Yes. That's exactly what he did, and it was all caught on camera. That is serial killer behavior by both of them. Both of them locked up, banned from all Major League Baseball stadiums, all concerts. And if they could do that there on Sunday afternoon in the Bronx, and a beautiful day for baseball, man, I don't know what they're capable of. It was absurd to be able to see that on the timeline. You know, I just think to myself, like, again, we all make mistakes. We all sometimes get a little juiced up, right? Like, oh, yeah, maybe they had a couple in the parking lot, or, you know, maybe it was an all-day affair, and maybe they were out late last night, and the juices get going. Leave. Go to the hotel. Take care of that. Get back. Enjoy yourself. What do you get out of that, dude? It's like, my Lord. The thing that went through my head. It's like, wait a minute. Doing all this for what? For what? That was disgusting. Point blank. And maybe I'm not saying it if I'm in my 20s. Maybe I'm looking at it a little bit differently, having some fun. Like, yeah, do it. Yeah. But as a grown man, as a father of 2, as a married man, take that to the house. Take that to the hotel. And if you can't wait, get it back to the car. Right field seats. My Lord. Yankees, Phillies on a Sunday afternoon. Good Lord. Anyways, I'm sure a lot of you did see that yourself. And if I missed anything, the pulse of the game. Dude, it was disgusting. Like, what are we doing right now? Part 2, I could not believe that this was real. Part 2 of that video, the director's cut, where he looked at her and did what he did, damn near knocked me off my couch yesterday. I was blown away. And that's where I said, these folks got to be blasted. There was some blasting going on. They had to be hammered. Absolutely boozed. My Lord. To be able to participate in some of those Olympics up there in the right field seats. To be a kid again. All right. Smooth transition if we could. Once again, coming up, Phillies tonight. Sanchez on the mound. Can't wait to see Christopher Sanchez back on the mound for the Phillies. I haven't seen anything as far as the MLB. Has there been anything released? A statement? Couple in seats caught. I don't even know what to freaking Google. Oh, they are all over the place. Yeah. I mean, they're cooked. You can't get away with that. You can't do anything. I mean, they're probably going to be just as big as the folks from Coldplay concert. You get, again, videos are everywhere. You're not going to be able to get away with anything these days. And that's the way you have to approach anything and everything that you think you're going to do if you're going to break the law. I mean, shoot, speeding, whatever it is, parking anywhere, it's something dumb like that, where it's minor. You're not going to get away with it. Now you get these two yum-yums out there in the right field seats, while they're getting the play-by-play on TikTok, people are literally screaming, quote, "This is effing insane." No other fans were immediately within a few seats of the couple. The alleged act was in broad daylight with numerous fans in the surrounding area. Yep. Why would they do that at a baseball game? Wouldn't be the first time something along those lines happened at a baseball game. Yeah. The Post has reached out for the Yankees for a comment. No comment. Yeah, I'm sure that they're trying to move along off of that one. Insane on the timeline. That type of savage behavior. You know what? Feeling a little hot and bothered. I'm going to take care of you right now, and then I'm going to go get myself a hot dog and a soda. What do you say? Oh, yeah. Do it to me, Johnny. Do it to me. I'm loving what I'm watching right now.
My Lord.
It was hot as hell. It was hot as hell out there. You're in the sun, in the heat. Those seats, that's not air conditioning. You're not in a suite. You're not by yourself. You're in a packed ballpark for the Phillies and the Yankees. And you're saying, you know what? This is a great time for me to pleasure you. And you know what? I don't want anything in return. You always talk about how I'm selfish. No, sweetheart, I'm going to take care of you right now. 5th inning. I don't need to wait to the 7th. Let's handle it right now. It's hot out there in them seats. Put them on the Jumbotron. That's what should happen. You know what? That's probably the way we need to look at these things, like the Coldplay deal. We need to put more people on the Jumbotron so at least they experience some shame. These two yum-yums are just walking around doing whatever they want. Put them on the Jumbotron as they were caught in the act. That would have been good. That's how you experience some shame there. Nasty.
My Lord.
One more for the time. Unbelievable. Yankees back in action, minus 132. I doubt that she'll be attending tonight's game. She had some weird shoes on, man. That's a strange couple. You know, that was a very strange couple that was probably aided by a little bit of booze, and I'm willing to bet that there was probably something else going on. Like, if you are feeling the magic in that moment, I would assume that there's definitely maybe some sort of pill involved. And I'm not talking about the legal one either. I'm talking about the things that make you feel a little something. Insane. Then he looks at her. How did I do? And he handles it. And he cleans it off. Like, just an animal. Just a straight up animal as he looks at her. And she's still pulsing. Oh, yeah.
My Lord.
Christopher Sanchez on the mound for the Phillies this evening. Once again, Phils and White Sox. Let's keep it going. Stay hot. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for me here on a Monday. Thank you for hanging out with me in the Daily Ticket in the afternoon. Shout out to Luke Arcaini, who I didn't bring through on that discussion. He's a young up-and-coming writer, so I didn't want to drag him into that area. But Sanchez minus 242, and we were discussing it a little earlier. He should have some success going up against this lineup. However, the White Sox are hitting a little bit better since the All-Star break. If you're looking for some players to back, you got to stick with it. Go with Trey Turner, JT Realmuto, about as hot as it gets, both of them. JT a little bit more than Trey. But I'm going to stick with the righties tonight, even though it's a righty pitcher for the White Sox. I think the Phillies have success. Give me the Phillies. Victory there. We'll talk all things Phils tomorrow as we get a little bit closer to the trade deadline, and we're going to be mixing in a lot more NFL and college football throughout the course of the week, starting tomorrow, as we'll be focusing on the NFC East and the Colorado Buffaloes with Deion Sanders returning to the sideline. Beat cancer, remove the tumor. If you missed that earlier, big news of the day. Deion will be back on the sideline for the Buffaloes, so we'll do a deep dive on the expectations for the Buffaloes tomorrow as well. It's the Daily Ticket, having some fun here.
My Lord.
Coming up next, Sam Ostry and Sean Bernard. Those are two gentlemen right there that would never, ever get caught in some act like that. That's for sure. They're coming up next. Picks and roll right here on The Gambler. I'll be back tomorrow live in studio at 3:00. Oh, by the way, Friday live from the National in Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a card collector, trust me, you want to tune in on Friday. We will be live out there from the National in Chicago. You should see all the people that are signing autographs out there. If you are in the card collecting world, yes, you will know a ton of people that will be out there. We're going to be front and center live, 3 to 6. The Daily Ticket will be coming to you from Chicago at the National and all day Saturday as well. I will talk to you tomorrow. Picks and Rolls next. Everybody have yourself a wonderful day.
My Lord.
Looking for the perfect outdoor dining experience with a view? Join us at Randall's Restaurant located in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.